Hi everybody, when I was with you at this time last week, and I was seated in the chair, I was telling you a story. And it was one of the many stories that I have learned as I have observed Mother and her Alzheimer's journey, and as I've traveled this journey with her. As you know, the title of my speech and the title of my book is I Never Noticed, My Journey Through Alzheimer's with Mom. I did not share that with you last week just purely for the purposes of educating you, although the story is compelling and very interesting and to some extent it's a little bit humorous. I also didn't share it with you to give you a sense that some things are just hopeless. There's nothing hopeless about the Alzheimer's journey that I'm going on right now. I know that I didn't notice years ago the things that were taking place, and I could have. That's one of the very first components that I talk about in chapter 1 of my book. Here's what I want to tell you, is that at the moment that we realized that what we were dealing with, and my mother, this beautiful, brilliant, lovely lady who has been the love of my life since I was a tiny child, who is one of the smartest women that I ever knew, who was an overcomer and a person who literally did buck the system and won. It's cruel, yes, that Alzheimer's is taking away such a beautiful person. But I'm talking to people out there who are going through the very same thing, and it can be heartbreaking. And we know that because Alzheimer's has no cure, and therefore it is ultimately fatal, we can perceive it as hopeless. And we can fear the unknown because we never know what kind of behaviors that Alzheimer's patient is going to manifest as this process progresses. I'm here to tell you something. There's hope. I believe it with all my heart. In the feedback that I received on that video last week, a person reminded me through their recommendation that perhaps maybe what I needed to do was come back around from that visit with you and tell you of how you can learn more, be better prepared, know how to better cope with, and take care of yourself as well as the one you love. I live in a community where we have an Alzheimer's Association of America chapter. And that chapter's office is a small, diminutive, and very modestly appointed office. But in there are individuals who are champions of the cause for Alzheimer's in fundraising as well as in raising information and education. Right here in my hand are just a handful of the brochures that were available to anyone who wants to walk into the location and check them out. For example, this brochure is about what to look for. What are the signs of Alzheimer's, including the 10 signs most commonly associated with the onset of Alzheimer's. Then there's a booklet that has to do with behaviors, and if vascular dementia, which my mother also has, is a part of the problem, you're going to realize that the behaviors are going to be startling. And if you're not prepared to understand that you're dealing with some very unknown territory at the beginning, you can find yourself at a loss as to what to do, and you'll be mystified and afraid and almost petrified to the point of being useless. And you can't be useless. You've got to be proactive in the relationship. You need to learn the communications tools that will work. It's not about tricking the patient. It's about understanding what the patient can and can't perceive or remember, and then knowing how to work best to get, for the patient, the best result. Naturally, of course, as time progresses, it was necessary for us to place Mother in the care of the state and assign her a guardian. My sister is the court-appointed guardian. That was a legal matter, but it was necessary because Mother's financial stability and those things that she needed in order to keep her home, keep her finances, pay her bills, and live comfortably and have quality of life until the point came that she could no longer be cared for at home and would have to be institutionalized. It's important that you have a legal plan in place, and it can be done, and there are tools to teach you how to do that. It's also important that you learn in this business that you need to take care of yourself. If you're a caregiver or a family member and you're involved actively in caring for your parent or your loved one or a spouse or a child or a sibling, it's time for you to engage that individual, but to engage them you need to also know what your limitations are. You're not alone. Because of the Alzheimer's Association of America, You have access to resources that are going to point you towards caregiver organizations, and those organizations are going to bring you in touch with others of like-mindedness and with the same problems, and those with greater experience in it, as well as those just coming into this battle. And together you share, because it gives you an opportunity to find ways to take care of yourself mentally, physically, and financially. Your mental health, your physical health, your financial health, they're all going to be under assault unless you can think with a clear mind. But to have a clear mind, you need, number one, confidence that you are on the right track and know what to do. That's education. And then number two, you need to know you're not alone in this battle. I'm John Morrow. My book is entitled, I Never Noticed, My Journey Through Alzheimer's with Mother. Check out alz.org today to learn more about the resources that will help you. And let's grow through this together with hope.